You've clicked on the Racing Post 2010-2011 Scottish Premier League guide. You're very welcome. And we're going to start off with two teams you might not have thought necessarily would be heading the market, but I think we're going to go with Celtic and Rangers. And the man who starred at Celtic for 9 glorious months, Tony Cascarino, is going to lead us into battle. Tony, Celtic or Rangers for you?
Well, it's very hard to, this time last year I couldn't see how Tony Mowbray's Celtic, they had more money than Rangers. It looks a nailed on certainty for me that they'd win the SPL last year. It didn't happen, awful season, and at times Celtic did look desperate. This year, Neil Lennon's come in. I think he's identified certain types of players that he wants at Parkhead. Rangers still have no money. How can you ignore that Celtic are firm favourites? And I'd be shocked if the second year on the spin that Rangers finished in front of Celtic. I think Neil Lennon, second part of the season, done brilliantly and went on a great run, apart from a dreadful cup final performance that cost them the cup in Scotland. I think it was all pretty much on the up in the SPL, so I've got to stay on Celtic.
OK, Mark Langdon, there's been a gamble on Celtic. Is that money going to be landed, or is it money going astray?
I'm still paying for last season's bet on Celtic, so I'm going to avoid them this year because, Tony said there, last year it was exactly the same story, and Rangers had no money, they had no squad, and Celtic had all the players, that had the better manager, and it just didn't happen for them. And I can't trust them at the prices. I really think that, if anything, I'd be edging towards Rangers purely because I think Walter Smith is an outstanding manager, and if anybody can get the best out of the bunch he's got, it will be him. The one that I really like, actually, though, is Fleck to be the top scorer at 66-1. Rangers have lost Boyd, and Miller could be out for a while. So there's talk about Lafferty playing up front or maybe wide. If they play the 5 in midfield with Fleck as one of the sort of wide forwards at 66-1, he's at least one player in the SPL who's got a little bit of talent, and there's not many players in that division you can say that about. So he's young, he might not get too many starts early on, but if he can get into the team at 66-1 for a Rangers player who could play as a forward, it's an interesting price.
Interesting stuff there. And Rob Hartnett from 188bet. Where's the money been going this summer, and where should it be going?
I think it should be going with Celtic, and that is where it's been going. We said that Rangers had few players last season. They only used, I think it was 24 players over the course of the season. Celtic used 37 players. They used more players during the course of the season than Manchester City used last year. So that shows just what level of turnover there was of players and ideas and thoughts. I think Lennon has got it sorted out now. It was a disappointing performance against Braga in the Champions League, but that will have at least taken that sort of the notion of doing well in Europe away from them, and they can concentrate on Scotland. Rangers, they've lost Chris Boyd, they've lost Johnson, there's talk of Steve Davis leaving as well. I just can't see where Rangers are going to come from. Walter Smith, great manager, but is he going to be on a lap of honour around the Scottish grounds this season? His mind might not be on it. I just can't see beyond Celtic, and I think that the money is going to be right there.
OK, good stuff. Now, obviously, there's also a battle at the other end of the table to finish bottom. A very good judge has grabbed me by the lapels and told me I must back Kilmarnock to finish bottom. I wonder if Tony Cascarino's got any views on which side in the SPL will have a particularly torrid time this year.
Well, Kilmarnock did have a pretty desperate team. They've also lost Kyle. I think he's gone, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's left them, which is their main goal scorer. So, no money. Pretty desperate last year. So, who else could you pick in front of Kilmarnock?
St Mirren have lost a couple of players as well, but sort of the judges, I don't know if we spoke to the same judge, but he told me to back Kilmarnock. My sort of SPL man told me to back Kilmarnock to finish bottom, and that's good enough for me, really. I can't see Hamilton being involved. I think that they're a decent team with a good manager, and I think it's a 2-horse race between Kilmarnock and St Mirren, and at the prices, I'd take Kilmarnock.
OK, last word from Rob Hartnett. On the 188 handicap, who are they opposing and who are they coming for? Which team are you looking to keep on the right side of in this one?
Dundee United are obviously the ones. They've got a good start on the two above them. Both Celtic and Rangers have got problems of their own to contend with, potentially carrying over from last season, so they're the ones that people have been coming for. I'd question Hamilton Academicals. I think they've lost MacArthur this season, adding to losing McCarthy last season as well, and I think that a club like that can only afford to lose decent players one at a time. They've lost both of those good, strong central midfielders, and I think that Hamilton Academicals could be the ones to really struggle.
OK, many thanks to the guys. Hope you found that helpful. Many thanks for tuning in.